Welcome back to Surviving Startup. We are on episode 002. So it's a podcast where you get to see our journey in our startup business while we build this community of entrepreneurs that's trying to go from startup to success. We're going to have some dope tips from y'all, from some dope entrepreneurs through the way. And tell them who you is, bro.
I'm Terry Sylvester, who owns a mobile detailing business. And that's what I do.
I'm Jamon. You already know I'm the videographer. Hopefully when we get to the episode 100s and all of that, you know what I mean, it's gonna look a lot different than it's looking right now. So what we want to talk about today, bro. Matter of fact, what's going on with your family life, bro?
Stuff. I mean, I wasn't gonna put that on the camera. I was trying to suck that one in, but I mean, we're going through some problems. I lost my aunt today, who was like a mom to me, or yesterday, and we dealing with it.
But you here today, though?
I'm here today because, like I told my mom, like she was asking me if I was going into work, or my wife was asking me, was I going into work? I have to go to work. It don't stop. I mean, yeah, I lost my aunt, who was my mom, pretty much. A mom, not my mom, but a mom. I still have to eat.
I think that's the thing that kind of like separate a lot of people when you, especially in this entrepreneur journey, like when you trying to get to that level, it's like you can't afford to really shut down during the moments. You know what I mean? Like you.
But not only that though, like the way my mindset is, I have to keep going because I'm different. I'm held to a different expectation than everybody else.
Yeah.
So, me personally, I have to keep going because if I don't, then they don't. Meaning my family. So, me personally, I have to keep moving. If I show weakness, then everybody crumble.
Yeah.
I can't, you know what I mean? So, but not in work, keep me moving. That's what to keep it going.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep me moving.
Sorry for your loss, bro.
Definitely, bro. Always.
Shoot, it ain't a lot going on over here. We got the holiday season coming up. You know what I mean? Really not gonna do Christmas this year.
Yeah, we was just talking about that. We was just talking about that.
Christmas this year. So we going to Vegas.
We going on vacation. That's what I'm saying. On vacation.
Everybody they voucher, they plane ticket voucher in the envelope. Here you go. Like we doing this. Like you ain't no Christmas anyway. The holiday is it ain't really something we celebrated in like
we
that.
just grew
anyway,
up to it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just something that we grew up with. It's pagan. It's something that's. I don't even want to go into that conversation. Anyways.
Leave that one alone.
Anyway, so today, we're going to talk about the biggest things that we wish we knew before we started our entrepreneur journey. I'm going to let you kick it off,
First off, you asked the question, though, when you sent me the text, how we started. It was 2 questions.
Okay,
how we started and where we wish we was at.
Okay, so maybe I should have looked back.
I mean, nah. Okay. So it depends on where you want to start at.
I thought we talked about where we started.
How we started. What we started is the difference.
Yeah.
What we do, why we do.
Yep.
There's a difference to how we started.
So it's probably a way. Okay. Shit, go in. Like, start from there.
Shit, I don't even know how I started. Duck detailing. Actually, realistically, I used to detail for my aunt, my mom, the one who just passed away. Actually, have like 3 cars, and I used to picture myself. We used to be out like I was always the money guy, so it was like, hey, T, go do such and such for this. I start 1 car, then it'd be like 10 cars. And you know my family. I got a big family. Y'all don't know my family. But it'd be like 20 cars out, and then one person would be like, hey, now my car. And it never happened. And then one time when I graduated, I moved to Florida. Sarasota, to be exact. And I seen a detailer come to somebody's house. Never seen it before. We live in Michigan. That ain't a thing. And I was like, this is dope. And the way my mind started working is how this work, how much money he making, and the way my mind work, it's a whole different.
Start seeing them.
Yeah, I started asking questions. So what you doing and how you doing it and how much, you know what I mean? It's like I'd never seen it before. So when we fast forward a few years, my mans bring up, I brought it up to him what I seen, and he was like, you should just do it. And I was like, fuck it, why not? Why not? It's simple.
Yeah.
And that's how I started. That's how I started detailing cars, bro. Because I seen it in Florida, and I brought it to Michigan.
So from the point where you seen that
2007 is when
where you started, what was that time difference like?
2007 is when I moved to Florida. When I graduated high school, I came home, and the next year, I say 2011 is when my mans was like, you can do it. Because the thing with me is a lot of people in life got like people who tell them they can't do something. You can't do it. You would be a failure. Realistically, no one has ever.
If you got anybody like
but
that.
like even like adults to tell kids that. Yeah, exactly.
Like,
adults to tell parents like you be in school and some lunch lady who was a fucking nobody, excuse my language, and tell a kid that, you know what I mean? You a lunch lady. You know what I mean? You a lunch lady. No disrespect to the lunch ladies.
Lunch ladies that
but like,
lunch lady company.
But like really, I had a lunch lady tell me that before. Like realistically, like that's this like who tells a kid that? But so
you gotta be miserable.
Yeah, you gotta be. But so a lot of people tell people that, but like. It was like nobody's ever told me I couldn't do something. And if I wanted a model, people was like, you definitely can do it. Podcast, I told a couple cats about that. You the man that can do it. So I never had someone who say I can't do something, which is a great thing. But everybody's like, go for it. So when my man was like, do it, I was like, let's figure it out. I already clean cars I already do it for fun. You know what I mean, for my family, so why not figure it out? So then I sat down, my wife, who was my fiance at the time, or girlfriend at the time, wrote up a logo, drew up a logo, but because we was in the bar scene, we knew people who knew how to draw. They drew up a logo and went with that. And with that logo, we printed it out on paper and I cut it out in like little 4x4s. And I was putting them on doors. I was putting them in cars. Like people put them on like, you know what I mean? When people put cars on your windshield wiper. I didn't do the windshield wiper because nobody pays attention to that. That'll fly off. What I do is I fold it up and I stick it right in your door. So you have no choice but to see this.
Yeah.
You can't not see this. People will leave that. I see people driving all the time with stuff in their windshield wipers. Because they don't care. Yeah. They don't care. But what I did is I folded up and I put it in your door. So you have no, or in your handle. If it's a handle, I just fold it up and put it right there in your handle. So you have no choice but to see my flyer.
Yeah.
There's no choice. So we went from flyers to that. And then my wife was like, let's figure out Facebook because we learned Facebook was a thing. And it's just been going from there. So that's how I started.
The things that I'm hearing that sticking out to me is, for one, the fact that you were surrounded by people who encourage you.
Definitely.
You were surrounded by people who encourage you. I think that's a big part of it, right?
Huge thing.
Because I have encouragement from my wife, but I really never was in a situation where I had like a lot of encouragement.
A lot of people.
So what I learned was, though, I found an environment where I got encouragement from people. And then at that point, I started moving a little bit differently. You know what I mean? So it's important, I think, like, you might feel like you're the type of person you don't need nobody, but it's always good to have somebody there that's have your best interest. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
So that's one of the main things I heard. And then the fact that you started, right? I think that's one of the critical points in this. Is like a lot of times we got these ideas in our head, and it's like, okay, when I get this, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna learn this. I'm gonna learn this, and then I'm gonna do it. Like, nah, like you just gotta start. So where I started from in my journey, like I was saying last week, I started in a church, right? And what that did was show me that I had a passion for it. So then when I started looking into more like generational wealth, I want to build generational wealth. I want to get into real estate. Now I'm starting to see that when you use your passion, God usually give you a passion that you can get paid off of. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I try to tell my kids, like, y'all got talents. Like, it's not like you just got talents that's just there for no reason. You know what I mean? You got gifts, and usually your gifts can get you paid if you utilize it the right way. So I'm like, I might as well get paid off my gift. Let me get paid.
That's an environment that most people not used to.
So, like you said, like you started, I just started. People doing like little businesses around where I was at in the church, like do a commercial for them. Boom. Then after I started getting more deeper into the artistry of it. Now I'm learning more about marketing techniques, learning more about attention spans, how to grab people's attentions. I'm looking at the artistry of how to shoot better, how to edit better. So, but it took me jumping it in and saying, like, I'm doing a business. Oh, you need a commercial here. Give me $10, $20. Here go a little, you know what I mean? I'm coming up with little scripts. That's how at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works, though. And it was doing that, though, and then being able to take criticism from people and being like, you know what? I don't really like this. I don't really like that. Instead of being like, oh, you don't like my, you know what I mean? A lot of people get, especially,
you don't like my work?
Especially music,
I ain't messing with you no more. Yeah.
Like, if you tell me my bars ain't good, like, all right, I'm gonna come harder with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if I'm rapping, you tell me you like what? I'm gonna come harder with it, but I'm not gonna get offended. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I'm gonna go harder.
Constructive criticism.
I'm gonna look at how can I improve, and then that's one of the biggest things that took me now to the point where I am. So I started doing that, and one thing I learned quick about the industry of video. Whatever you're doing, if you got the wrong type of things like logos and all of that stuff, like colors, stuff can come back to you can get sued. You know what I'm saying? So I started reading about how all of these companies was going out of business because something they did in the beginning came back and it was some type of infringement on somebody else's product or something like that or whatever. Something simple that they had in one of their videos. You know what I mean? And then they come back and get sued, and then that's dang near put your company over. So I'm like, all right, let me get everything together. So I kind of stopped doing business for a minute. Like, I finished the projects I had, and then I took a business class. So I invested in myself in that, and then once I did that, I had a better idea of the legalities and the numbers, and then, you know, doing contracts, you know, got plugs to lawyers who can look over my contracts and make sure, not just looking at YouTube and this and putting together, and
that's
then
a whole different that's a whole different that's a whole different topic.
So yeah, but that's like, that was my journey. Like, I had to, once I got to a certain point and I was selling, I had to say, you know what, I got to do this the right way, because I don't want nothing to come back to, especially the IRS, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be paying the IRS for no years, you know what I mean? So I wanted to do it right, and I did that earlier this year.
Sorry,
and
my wife is outside.
Oh, go get your wife, bro.
We can't, I'm going to just tell her to ring the bell, so she can come in. We can't, we live right now. We can't.
I'd have kept it going while you was gone. So, but that was my journey, though, of how I started. You know what I mean? Now what's up?
It's up. That's the goal. That's the goal. So they say once you start something in what you want, and you have a vision of that, you start it, everything else will fall in line that you didn't know you needed.
I be reading stuff.
Because now you're reading things you don't even know you needed. You're talking about finance, but you was talking about something different. Exactly.
You figuring out what you don't know, so you figuring out what you have to learn. But if you never start, then where you going? You always gonna be in that construction phase.
Yep.
You know what
The
I'm
yellow
saying?
brick road.
Like a lot of people say, all right, make sure you got this, make sure you got that, boo, boo, boo. But for the most people, for the most part, sometimes you need that validation and that confidence. Like,
Just
I
to
can
start.
do this.
You can just do it.
You know what I mean? So once you just start and you do it and you see like people actually want this.
That's
People
why that
actually
schooling
pay
system
me
is
money
different. That's why I
for
don't really
this.
agree with it,
You know
because
what
it
I
stops
mean?
you from thinking like that.
Yeah, like people pay me money for this. Okay, now you learning like, okay, it's things I need to do to legitimize myself as a real business. Then you start doing that. Before the
You
most
start
part, a lot of
learning
times,
things.
Start like
Just start.
Start.
You just gotta start. So for anybody out there and doing anything you want to do in life, like literally, all you have to do is start. Once you start, everything else will fall in line. And I'm not telling you this is gonna be easy. I'm not telling you it's gonna be hard. I'm not telling you it's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna tell you it's gonna be nothing. All you gotta do is start. Figure it out. All you gotta do is figure it out. Everything you can figure it out.
And then go from
And
there.
then go from there. You got Google. You can do anything with Google.
We in the information age.
You can do anything.
So whatever it is, just start. Like it ain't the only thing being away really is our excuses.
It's your excuse.
You know
You
what I
are the
mean?
only person
And-
that's stopping you from doing anything.
This is one of the biggest things, especially I try to get to my sons. Like, if you try to make excuses of why you can do something instead of making excuses of why you can't do something, then everything, and anything that you want in life will come to you.
Yeah.
Because you ain't gonna let the time
why
get
will not
hard
exactly
say, oh
'Cause
man,
it ain't that hard.
I can't do this today,
Right.
Because of this or that,
Right.
But then if you're looking at it like, okay, how can I do this? Let me make an excuse to do it. Then you figure it out.
Definitely, I agree with that one. I'm gonna give me 2 seconds. We gonna talk about what you thought you wish you knew. Give me 2 seconds, bro. I gotta go. I don't know where she is. Oh, shit.
We live. What you call it on there?
Where was we at?
Where was we at?
What I wish I knew before.
What I wish I knew.
What I wish I knew before I started
this
this.
entrepreneur journey.
That's a question.
That's deep.
What you think? What do you think you wish? You think about that question?
I think I was delusional, bro.
About
Like I knew it was gonna be hard work, right? But even when I started looking at the fact of when this grind had to step up and the sacrifice that was gonna take from the whole family,
whole aspect of it.
like I was thinking it's gonna be this, if I do it right, it's gonna just be this smooth
Great.
transition, you know what I'm saying? And I wish I would have knew that. No, not by far, bro. Like, not smooth at all. Like, I think it's a lot of situations where if I felt like, well, I feel like if I would have knew, like, okay, like if somebody would have told me before I started, like, bro, like it's gonna take sacrifices, and that ain't like this is what that's gonna look like. You might think it's gonna be good, but it's gonna be
ugly.
Sometimes it's gonna look ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's gonna look ugly, even though you trying to do the
Right
thing for your family. You know what I'm saying? And I probably could have navigated it a little bit better. You know what I mean? I think I had frustrations through. Like, I think it's kind of, we still learning, but it's more of smooth sailing now, because I think now it's the more of a feel of in this new environment where I'm doing all of this stuff, and it's taking up a lot more time now. I think we found our sync in our family of even when it's not going good, like how to resolve that. You know what I'm saying? But in the beginning, it was frustration. It was probably situations I could have handled better. You know what I mean?
So what I'm getting from that is, business wasn't the hardest part. Your family was navigating that part.
Definitely was.
So it ain't had nothing to do with business.
Everything personal. The hardest stuff is the personal stuff. Like when I did this business class, being pushed to that higher level, you know what I'm saying? Then being around people that's really like on their thing, like you got all of these business people around you that's really on their, oh, y'all ain't about to leave me behind, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now I'm really
That's
about
your
to step
mentality.
my game up, you know what I mean?
Some people will quit.
Some people will quit, you know what I mean? But just, I done forgot where I was going with that. What was your question? But I was going somewhere good with it though.
You're funny.
What did you ask?
I don't even know. I asked, what did I just ask you? I asked, what? I don't even remember, bro.
So
I really don't remember.
it'll come back to me. What you wish you would have knew before you started this journey?
No, I asked you. So it had nothing to do with business. It all had to do with your family. So the hardest
Okay, that's
part,
where I was going with
the
it.
hardest part was nothing to do with
Yeah.
business. It all had to do with you personally,
personal stuff.
and how
So
you
that's
handled
where
your
it was at.
you handled your family. So it had nothing to do with business.
Definitely. It was all personal stuff though. So where I was going with that was, last week we was talking about putting yourself in uncomfortable situations.
Correct.
And that's where your growth happens at. So in these situations that I started putting myself in, finding mentors, taking classes, investing in myself, I started seeing things about myself that I didn't see before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I started realizing things about me. So it was like everything that I really had to work through, and I ain't gonna say had to, everything that I'm working through is personal. It's all in here. Like everything that I'm working through is in here. Like far as this business stuff, if I can get everything in here and in here where it need to be together, then
everything fall in
that's
line.
just gonna fall in line easy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's the hardest part with most people in life. And in life, it ain't had nothing to do with business. I think most people in life have a problem with figuring this out.
Of self.
You got to figure self out before you can figure anything out.
A lot of people don't even look at it.
And a lot
like
of people
that.
don't.
They just live in.
Just living life like it's golden and it ain't.
People
life
wake up
ain't
like
golden.
it's a mistake. Like you ain't got no type of goals and plans.
No,
what you
nothing.
trying to do, you know what I mean?
But they just living life.
Oh, you want to just get money?
Yeah. So I think a lot of times in general it has to do with everything that has to do with that. But no, for me, what I wish I knew before starting was that connections was everything, which I always knew connections meant something. I didn't know it was everything. And how to manage my books, my money. I ain't gonna use books. I'm gonna keep it 100. How to manage my money. Because connections is one thing, but how to manage your money is another thing. We grew up making money. So I can make a lot of money, but if you don't know how to manage it, what's the reasoning?
You just born.
There's no reason. So my biggest, I wish I knew coming in of how to manage money and not think of how I used to think. Because now I got it. I'm kind of figuring it out. Kinda, sorta. I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. But I think I'm figuring it out. But like prior to now, or teaching myself, or my wife helping me learn, like I did what I wanted to do. If I get it, I got it. I made it. We can do what we want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, my babies. I'm not really worried about that. It was more so, hey, let me go get my babies what they want right now. So, more so, and that comes down to my business, because if you don't know that, then you can't manage business, because all that is finance.
Yeah.
So if I go make $100,000 in business and go blow $100,000 in life, I'm in debt $50,000 because I owe my business 50. So that's really where I'm trying to figure out right now.
So let's talk about them connections though, like
And connections.
Why?
Why connections?
Why connections?
Because you never know who the next person might be. Everybody, I judge no man, and I look at life as like, I meet you, and if you got the time to meet me, or let me meet you, then it was meant to be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Every connections is everything.
Definitely.
You never know who the person next to you might be.
One of the things I actually been doing, well, last month, my biggest focus, networking is always a focus, right? But networking last month was my number one focus for my business. You know what I'm saying? And what happened when I made that my main priority, going to every event I could find, everything that I can do to bump shoulders with new entrepreneurs,
New people,
new whatever, vice presidents, heads of business, whatever that is. I met a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of connections. And what happens is somebody gonna be, oh, you did, when you start to develop a rapport or relationship with somebody over just, let me tell them about my business so I could sell them. But you start going out there and you meeting businesses and you start meeting other entrepreneurs, then the people that get drawn to you is probably going to pick you for business over this other person that do the same thing that you do that they really not cool with or that they don't like.
What I've learned in my business that I do is if everything's word of mouth. Like, yeah, we can do commercials. Yeah, we can do YouTube, Facebook. The real customers come from word of mouth. Meaning, if you come to me and say, bro, I'm looking for such and such and such. Or even if it's on Facebook, I'm going to shoot out such and such suggestions. If I put out, hey, Terry, Luxurious Mobile Detailing is a man, and it came from you, because you was his man, he gonna come to me no matter what.
Because it's trust.
Because he trusts you. Mm-hmm. And not only that, is if I do the job I'm supposed to do, I always have that customer.
And
always. I always have that customer. And he's gonna tell somebody else, and he's gonna tell somebody else. Now Facebook, we can put out Facebook posts and whatnot, but they'll come one time, 2 times. But if you tell your mans that, hey, my man's got it, or such and such, I know such and such, that's a lifetime customer.
Because it's that trust value.
It's a lifetime customer.
Once you go above and beyond of doing your job, now it's like, boom, that's when
it's a lifetime customer. You know, it's not just a Facebook or a post.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime customer. And then they're going to tell their friends. So everything really, when you build in a business, I feel like it's word of mouth. Like, yeah, we can go spend $100,000 on McDonald's. I mean, like McDonald's do on whatnot, but they work their way up to that.
Definitely. And
so I word of mouth.
What we do in service, we basically service-based businesses. Both our businesses are service-based.
Definitely.
The importance of how well you do your job is important. It's paramount, yo, because I think we
or don't that. Because I get money when you guys don't do your job. Keep not doing your job, and they're gonna call Terry back to come do your job for you. So I agree with that.
We lose. I think we lose a lot of the times. We lose that in our community.
I agree with that,
right? Because for real, like, just I am who I am. I want to see dollars circling in the community because I know that means more jobs.
That means more money.
That means we can strengthen our dollars. That means we can start going to politicians.
We can do different things.
And then starting to get things that we actually want put into action. But the truth is, like, you're not going to pay for a half service.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you go to this store and they close at random times all the time, like, you probably just going to go to the other store.
I don't accept rudeness, me personally. I, mean? I hate being rude too.
Sometimes you have people that's owners, and then they just feel like they can be rude because they're.
I hate rudeness, bro. That's just me as a person. Like, I don't even go to certain places because the employees are rude. I go to this other spot. I ain't even gonna name names, but I would go to the other spot. You know what I mean? Because they appreciate me. That's legit.
How you do your service is paramount. Like, yeah. I love the fact that we got a lot more people in the black community
doing things. Doing things.
I think overall, like, it's starting to look up, like, though, for real. Like, I say like 10 years ago, when you would go to a black business, like a restaurant, anything, you expected a low profession. You didn't expect high professionality.
I can agree with that to a point. I believe where we grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, that's a thing.
True.
And the reason I say that is because it blew my mind one time going to New Orleans, right? About 10 years ago. It was about 8, 9 years ago. I don't even know. But I went to New Orleans, and at a time they were having a black entrepreneur convention. And it's the most time I ever seen black men and women looking professional, like in a different kind of way. Like I've never seen it before in my life, bro. Like we from Grand Rapids. When I went to New Orleans that time, and I seen us, and me and my wife was walking through, and I was like, I see dudes in suits and ties, and not even dudes, like 16-year-olds, bro. Like
Young.
Yeah, 16-year-olds. It was a young thing. It was a young convention. So it was like bow ties, and
it just was next level.
I've never seen it before. Yeah. And I was like, this is amazing. I need to learn something like this. I need to figure this out. I need to figure out what they're doing because I've never seen nothing like it. So when you say that, maybe that's a thing in most communities, but it's not because I've seen it. So most communities, because we grew up in a community where most communities is like. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. But because when you see something different, I believe you learn something different.
I think that's the thing that allows your mind to
grow.
It grows, but you feel like you don't get stuck. Like if you grow up in the hood and you never even been camping or nothing, you ain't even been out the hood. You never even been on the west side. You just been on the south side. Like, you might not feel like you got too many options. You might not look at life like
that's the thing.
And see the possibilities. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing.
Like for real. And I think it was a lot of that more like 10 years ago with the professionality, but I think today it's a lot more. It's a lot more people that's really doing their thing.
They're doing great things, bro.
Doing great things. You know what I mean? I love it.
Young people, old people.
Shoot, I think next week we might have to do power couples or something, man.
Yeah,
we might have
young people. Yeah, we can do it. Whatever.
We might have to bring the wifeys on.
Because I agree with that. My aunt just got her bachelor's degree 2 days before she passed away. Ain't that tough?
Man.
All she want to do is walk with her bachelor's degree.
But she got it, though.
She got it. Her bachelor's degree. That's tough, ain't it? Yeah,
and that's not a young age.
And that's not a young age.
You know what I mean?
You can do what you want to do at any age.
Man, people get like, man, I'm pushing 40 almost, man.
You can do what you want to do, bro.
40s, and it's like, I might as well just go ahead and buckle down at this job, man. Like, I ain't gonna be able to, bro, like 10 to 15 years of focus, hard grinding, and planning, your life will look totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like completely different. But a lot of times we lack that focus and we lack a plan. You know what? I'll say this is one of the things that I wish I knew before I started, right? I know how important it is to plan, but the degree of failure that you can encounter when you don't plan. You know what I mean? Because I've always been the type to procrastinate. I'm good under pressure, though.
That's what we all say, right? That's what we all say.
Under pressure. You know what I mean? If I waited to do this edit to the last minute, like I'm gonna bust out a good edit. And I feel like my edits under pressure kind of better than my edits when I'm
thinking too hard about it,
working ahead of time, and making sure I don't got it done ahead of time. It's something about that pressure, but still, a procrastinator. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And what I learned that I had to do is, bro, I gotta map out and schedule like basically every minute of your day.
And that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Because I read a few books that tell you that's how people, and not only that, most people hire people to schedule out their days. Like, if I ain't got time, like most people ain't got time to do that. So I hire somebody to schedule out my day and tell me what I have to do at 10 o'clock. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But I know. But so once we get to that level, I'm saying, they there so they can do that. But
Yeah.
we have to learn how to figure that out.
Because what it really
Because that's the thing.
is time management.
Time management. We got 24 hours in a day.
If you're spending a lot of time in your business, then how much time are you spending on your business?
On your business. Learning your business.
You know
teaching your business.
If every day you're doing the grunt work and working hard, where do you find time to expand, make more money, bring in new customers, all of that stuff that needs to happen to have a successful business?
On that note, we find out next week when we bring in. I don't know.
I don't know. See next week, what we gonna talk about? What y'all
How to
wanna
figure
see
that
next
out.
week?
How to figure that out.
Hey, but you know what?
How we go from leaving a job to being your own boss. How you go from.
That's January 9th.
Oh.
You thought I was talking about this month?
I'm thinking different. My brain's somewhere different, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But still, same difference. We can figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. I definitely maybe because what the plan was to touch on that topic, but we definitely want somebody here for that topic. But my topic in dealing with your relationship and being an entrepreneur, we can hit that, and then we can bring our women.
We can definitely do that because that hits different from everybody.
What's up, Kayla? You gonna come through?
That hits different from everybody. Everybody has different aspects in that, how that whole thing works.
Yeah,
so that worked
perfectly. Definitely, because every family structure is different.
Everybody's structure is different.
I'm gonna have to get my wife prepared. She ain't gonna want to do it. But
Shit. You gonna drag her in.
I'm gonna drag her in.
Tell her. I told you, bro, last week. That's what the Birkins. These Birkins is paying for shit. When you get that Birkin under that tree,
you ain't gonna be. You gonna
be all right.
You need me to come to another podcast?
Yeah, you need. Yeah.
You doing what we doing on the podcast?
But no, that's what we got. That's it, bro. Is that all we got for the people today?
That's all we got. Maybe we gon' well, I ain't gonna say maybe. As we go on, y'all know it's episode 002. As we go on, it's gonna be more and more structured. Better,
we figuring it out.
You know what I mean? We figuring it out.
Let's figure it out.
Let's figure it out. Hey, start.
We surviving the startup. We had startups and we starting this one up. So we surviving it. You with us.
Start. Whatever it is you thinking about doing, start. Tell people you doing it. That way you gonna be accountable and start.
Today, not tomorrow.
Boom. Surviving startup.
Surviving startup.